So this will be the second boxing video that I've ever done, and if you watched my first one, you know that I only really care for the heavyweight division in boxing. I don't care so much for the lower midget divisions. I can't watch Shakur Stevenson run around the ring for 12 rounds. I can't watch Jaron Ennis. I can watch Sebastian Fundora just because he's a complete circus freak, a freak of nature, and it's good to see those freaks of nature. He's like a Nikolai Valuev, but in a lower weight division. I like seeing that, but I only really care for heavyweight. And heavyweight is going to start to look bleak in the future. When all these guys, when Fury and Joshua and Usyk are finally gone, there's not really much left. We've got Richard Torres Jr. I don't think Richard Torres Jr. is going to make it far, to be honest. I don't think he's going to make it far. He's small. He's really small. He's listed as 6'2". I've done some digging. He's actually 6'1". Now you might say, oh, well, it's just an extra inch. It doesn't really matter. It does matter. 6'1" is really short for heavyweight nowadays. Look how small Usyk looks in with some of these big guys. And Usyk is 6'3". Okay? So at 6'1", it really does matter. And Mike Tyson was 5'11", but Mike Tyson was a freak athlete, a once-in-a-century phenomenon. We're never going to get somebody like Mike Tyson in a very long time. And Richard Torres Jr. is not a Mike Tyson. He's not. He's fast, but not fast enough. He hits hard, but he doesn't hit hard enough. Because if he did, he would have knocked out Guido Vianello. His fight IQ doesn't seem to be looking all that good either. He gets hit a lot. His defense is lacking. He's 13-0 record, but we all saw in the amateurs what Jalilov did to him. 6'7" Jalilov. He looked tiny in there with Jalilov. Looked like cruiserweight versus a heavyweight. It was bad. And, this just proves that he is 6'1", because here he's fighting Isaac Munoz, who is listed as 6'1". And they're eye to eye. Same height. Same exact height. This is the guy that fought Jermaine Franklin, by the way. And here's his last fight against Guido Vianello. Now, Guido is listed as 6'6". And, yeah. That's 6'1" right there. That's a 5-inch height difference. And I know that because, for those who don't know, a good rule of thumb is if you can measure someone by the eye and above, that's usually 5 inches in difference from your eye to above to the top of your head. Now, people's faces are different, skulls are different shapes, but imagine if this was an Anthony Joshua or a Tyson Fury or any of these other big guys. You're going to get fucked. You're going to get absolutely fucked. So I just don't think Richard Torres is going to make it that far. He's ranked 16 on BoxRec. Let's look at possible fights that are above him. Assuming that he's not going to fight down. Usually these people, they like to fight down a lot. But he did fight Guido Vianello, which is above him. So who could he fight? Could he fight Hrgovic? He might outbox Hrgovic in the way that he outboxed Vianello. But I don't think so. I think he gets knocked out by Dillian Whyte. Remember, Richard Torres, he's young. He's 26. Derek Chisora will probably beat him. Ajagba would beat him. Bakoli would do some damage. Michael Hunter's not active. He could probably beat Michael Hunter, maybe. Murat Gassiev hits hard. But I don't know if he would even take that fight. Tyson Fury would beat the shit out of him. Joshua would beat the shit out of him. Lawrence Okolie, maybe. I mean, Lawrence Okolie apparently broke his hand or broke his wrist in that Kevin Lorena fight. And Kevin Lorena is about the same height and size as Richard Torres. So maybe he could beat Lawrence Okolie. Fabio Wardley, probably not. And then all these other guys, definitely not. Not Parker, not Dubois, not Caballero, not Usyk. So if he's going to fight up, he's going to lose. There's some fights in here that he could win. But he's not going to fight Okolie next. I don't think so. They could do the Michael Hunter fight. That's a possible fight for Richard Torres. Michael Hunter, he's not super active. But yeah, enough about Richard Torres. Next fighter, Bahadir Jalilov, who was fighting in the amateurs for a very long time, and he recently is done with the amateurs after he won. He's done everything he's done in the amateurs, so he's in pro, and he's just not that active. Now, recently he was supposed to fight some big Italian guy, Gianmarco or something his name was, and the fight got canceled. But still, look at this. The last fight that he had in the pros was in November of 2023. Then he fights some fat Ukrainian guy, Shevadzutsky. He got a knockdown in that fight. Nothing really happened. And then he's just going to fight some other bum. He's not going to fight anybody noticeable. Because if he was willing to fight that Italian dude, then I have no hope for him. He could fight all these guys up here. You know, he could fight Huey Fury. He could fight Otto Wallin, somebody that we've heard of, you know? But nope, Victor Vickers. I don't know who this guy is. Okay, another big Ukrainian guy. I'm not hyped up for Jalilov. I'm not. He's 31. He still has time. He's 6'7". I should be excited for him. I can't be. He's got a bad management in his team. And just a waste of talent. It's like Tom Aspinall for like the past 2 years. That's the way I see Jalilov. Just wasting prime years of his life not fighting anybody noticeable. So, yeah, we'll move on. Jared Anderson. Another disappointment. Now, the thing with Jared Anderson is if you've heard his interviews and what he says, he doesn't have any discipline and he's not really motivated for boxing. He's already said multiple times he's not going to be it in the long run. And he just doesn't care. No discipline, no structure. I guess you could say that's typical, knowing his background, but he took the Bacoli fight. He got beat. Shouldn't have been the end of the world. We know with the Charles Martin fight, he has poor defense. You know, he got hit a lot in that Charles Martin fight. And if you watch the Marius Colias fight, which I did, he got hit a lot in that too. He's got poor defense. Very poor defense. And if he fights anybody top level, he's going to get brutalized in the same way that Bacoli brutalized him. So, Jared Anderson's gone. He's not going to be a top contender. We're running out of good contenders other than Moses Talma. Do you know anybody else in the heavyweight division that's up and coming, that's promising, that's going to be like, oh, you know, that guy can be a champion? I never had that with Jared Anderson when I was watching all of his fights when he was undefeated, because I knew that he was unmotivated and he was wasting all of his money on bling and useless stuff, and that's not a good sign, because if you're undisciplined and unmotivated and you're wasting your money on that stuff, it just shows to me that you have poor decision making. You're very rash and insubordinate. You know, you're not really thinking before you're doing. And that speaks to him as a fighter because he fights in that same manner. He's not really thinking before he actually does something. He goes in there face first and just gets hit. So, goodbye, Jared Anderson. Yeah. The Bacoli fight, that was a wake up. And Bacoli's a fat fuck. That was a fight he should have won. Bacoli's a fat fuck. I mean, we saw what Joseph Parker did to him. And now let's go to Moses. The shining light that we have hope for. The only guy that's left who's young and who's going to be a future champion, possibly. But he has to get through Dillian Whyte first. And this fight's going to happen on the same day that UFC 319 is going to happen. But where's it? It's going to be in Riyadh, so the time zone, when these Middle Eastern cards, it's going to be in the middle of the day, so that's going to be good. So I'll be watching this fight, and then I'll be watching UFC 319. It's not like the two fights are going to be overlapping, so I don't have to worry about that. Dillian Whyte is his first true test. We said Dempsey McKean was his first test, and it was in a way. Dempsey McKean was the first noticeable fighter that he fought. Before that, it was just a bunch of no-name bums. We only know Dempsey McKean just because he went the distance with Filip Hrgović. And that's the only reason why. Knocks him out in the first round. Then he gets another tune-up fight, Mike Balajian. Gets him out of there, brutal fashion. But Dillian Whyte's the real deal. Okay. This is his first real test. Scary southpaw. People are expecting, well, just throw the uppercut. Dillian Whyte gets knocked out by the uppercuts all the time. By Povetkin, by Tyson Fury, by Joshua. We'll see. We'll see. We have yet to see Moses Tauma take a flush hit to the jaw. We have yet to see his chin tested. We have yet to see him go into these later rounds. He's young. He probably has a lot of cardio and stamina. So I'm not so worried about the gas tank. But Dillian Whyte's a tough cookie. Tough cookie. Okay, so we have that to look forward to. And then besides that, there's nobody else. Let's just look at the rankings real quick. Let's just look at some young names that aren't Filip Hrgović. Daniel Dubois, of course, still young, but he's already been up there. We know Daniel Dubois. I don't know what if he's going to ditch his father once and for all, if he's going to replenish his mind and get those bad thoughts away. He's got to ditch his father, Daniel Dubois. He's the only other young guy left besides Moses. It's a bunch of Brits. Fabio Wardley. How old is Fabio Wardley? He's 30. He's not super old. He'll be there for a while. Akoli. Who knows if Joshua and Fury are ever going to fight again. F.A. Ajagba. Derek Chisor's old. Okay, we got Richard Torres. Richard Riekfor. How old is he? He's 35. He's old. He doesn't count. Kubrat Pulev, Zhili Zhang, senior citizens. Justice Hooney just got knocked out. Sanchez. It's tough, man. And then that's it. All these other guys. We got some Albanians in here. Yeah, nah. These two guys here, even Diko is a big dude. Apparently he's 6'9". You can never trust these heights. He's probably 6'7". I think I saw a picture of him standing next to Tyson Fury. They're like the same height, so they're 6'7". Because Tyson Fury's not 6'9" either. Okay, Tyson Fury is 6'7". And then you got this motherfucker. This big, ugly, ogre motherfucker. Looks like Shrek. Gurgen Hovnasian. 6'7" dude. Armenian. Really big fuck. And apparently he just had a fight recently. So I'll have to watch that one. He looks like a big teddy bear. But yeah, not looking good for heavyweight. Not looking good. Moses Tauma, imagine if he gets knocked out by Dillian Whyte. That's going to be so fucking bad. Because then we'll really have nothing. We would have to hope that Daniel Dubois fucking kills his dad and then just starts doing yoga and meditating. Becomes a Buddhist monk and then just goes fucking hammer. Heavyweight's going to look rough in the years to come, man. It's looking rough. That's all I got for you now. Peace out.